SHRM-CP question of the day lives in the interpersonal domain under relationship management. It tests one single idea, an idea that 3 of the 4 options walk straight past. The idea is this: the 20% isn't the real ask. Here is the scenario. You are evaluating distributive and integrative negotiation approaches for an executive hire. The candidate demands a 20% guaranteed bonus. Policy caps that bonus at 10%. But, and this is the detail most people miss, policy allows unlimited performance equity. And you must build a positive, lasting relationship. Which action is appropriate? Option A. Explore the candidate's underlying financial goals and structure a collaborative package using the uncapped equity grants. Option B. Offer a 15% guaranteed bonus as a compromise to bridge the gap between the 2 initial bargaining positions. Option C. State firmly that the 10% cap is strict, while emphasizing how competitive the base salary is. Option D. Request an immediate policy exception from the compensation committee to grant the requested bonus. Pause here. Pick your answer. Ready? 3 of these answers negotiate the 20%. One asks a completely different question. The correct answer is Option A. Explore the candidate's underlying goals. Use the uncapped equity. Here is the test the scenario is actually asking you. What does the candidate want when they say 20%? Because 20% is the position. The interest underneath it is something else, and that is where the deal actually lives. This is Fisher and Ury, Getting to Yes, Harvard Negotiation Project, 1981. 40 years later, still one of the most cited frameworks in negotiation. Think of every demand as an iceberg. The position floats above the water, 20%. That is what they said. The interest sits below the waterline. That is why they said it. Maybe the real interest is income stability, maybe upside exposure, maybe total wealth accumulation. Distributive negotiation argues about the tip. Integrative negotiation goes under the waterline. And here is the scenario's critical design choice. Policy caps the bonus at 10, but leaves equity uncapped. The uncapped lever is already within policy. If the candidate's real interest is upside, uncapped equity can deliver more value than any bonus ever could. That is expanding the pie, not splitting it. Fisher and Ury give us 4 moves. 1. Separate the people from the problem. The 20% is not the person. Build rapport before terms. 2. Focus on interests, not positions. Ask why the 20% matters to them. Once you know, the whole conversation changes. 3. Invent options for mutual gain. Performance equity can exceed 20% of base and value. Design RS-US or option grants around the real interest. 4. Insist on objective criteria. Executive comp surveys, equity benchmarks, peer package data. Let the data carry the ceiling, not the policy alone. Now why the other 3 fail. Option B, 15% as a compromise. Splitting the difference is pure positional bargaining, and it violates the 10% cap, which makes it not just weak but out of compliance. The 20% isn't the real ask. Option C, state the cap firmly, pivot to base salary. This is the hard distributive stance. Adheres to policy but issues an ultimatum and ignores the integrative path the same policy already permits. The 20% isn't the real ask. Option D, request a policy exception, hand the candidate the full 20, and set a precedent every future executive will benchmark against. No negotiation skill used at all. The 20% isn't the real ask. The pattern to remember. On any negotiation question on this exam, ask whether the correct move is bargaining within the stated position or exploring the interest underneath it. Integrative almost always wins, because the test is about relationships, not transactions. Want to pass SHRM-CP the first time? Prep Solution gives you 1,500 practice questions, 3 full mock exams, 600 flashcards, and the SJI Strategy Masterclass. Get it at prepsolution.com/exam/SHRM-CP. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.